Love in the Spotlight, Bai Lu and Zhang Linghe steal hearts with a surprise public kiss. The air outside the Shanghai International Film Festival was electric that night, buzzing with anticipation as flashing cameras illuminated the red carpet like 1,000 falling stars. Fans screamed as limousines lined the entrance, celebrities draped in luxury gowns and tuxedos posing for photos. But no one was prepared for the scene that would steal the night and the hearts of millions. At the center of it all, Bai Lu and Zhang Linghe, the couple whose love had survived heartbreak, family disapproval, and a near-tragic car accident. They had not appeared in public together since their tearful reunion in the hospital weeks before. Many speculated that while they had reconciled, lingering tension with Bai Lu's family might keep them out of the spotlight. But when the sleek black sedan pulled up and Zhang Linghe stepped out first, his sharp tuxedo catching the golden glow of the lights, a ripple of excitement swept through the crowd. He paused, turned, and offered his hand back toward the car door. A collective gasp echoed. Out stepped Bai Lu, radiant in an off-the-shoulder pearl-white gown that shimmered under the flashing bulbs. Her hair was swept into soft curls, her makeup subtle yet luminous. The crowd erupted cheers, gasps, even a few tears as the two locked eyes. A love reborn under the cameras. At first, the moment seemed like any other red carpet appearance, two stars walking side by side, posing for the cameras. But attentive fans noticed the small things, the way Zhang Linghe's hand lingered just slightly on the small of her back, the way Bai Lu's eyes kept darting toward him with a shy yet tender light. Their chemistry was undeniable, a warmth that seemed to radiate even under the cold flash of the paparazzi's cameras. As they paused for photos, reporters shouted questions. Bai Lu, Zhang Linghe, are you two officially back together? Is this your first public appearance as a couple since the accident? How did you overcome your family issues? They didn't answer. They didn't have to. Instead, Bai Lu slid her hand into his, a soft but deliberate gesture. The crowd gasped again. It wasn't the hesitant touch of colleagues, it was intimate, protective, and proud. The unexpected twist. Halfway down the carpet, a commotion began near the press line. A fan fainted from excitement, and security rushed to help. Amid the chaos, Zhang Linghe instinctively wrapped an arm around Bai Lu's shoulders, shielding her from the sudden movement. She looked up at him, startled, her lips parting slightly. In that charged moment, with flashing lights and murmurs of concern rippling through the audience, Zhang Linghe did something no one expected. He leaned in and kissed her. It wasn't a polite, staged peck. It wasn't calculated or rehearsed. It was tender, deliberate, and breathtakingly real. His hand cradled her jaw, hers clutched the lapel of his tuxedo, and for a heartbeat, the entire world seemed to stop. The crowd erupted into screams. Cameras clicked furiously. Reporters shouted over each other. Within seconds, the moment was immortalized. Bai Lu and Zhang Linghe's surprise public kiss had become the headline of the year. Reactions from the crowd. One fan, live streaming from the barricades, could be heard sobbing. They're not hiding anymore. After everything they've been through, they're telling the world they're in love. Another shouted over the chaos. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. True love always finds its way. Even the host of the red carpet broadcast was speechless for a moment before exclaiming, "Ladies and gentlemen, we just witnessed the kiss that will dominate every headline tomorrow." A family watching from afar. What the public didn't see was that Bai Lu's mother was at home watching the broadcast, sitting stiffly on the edge of the sofa. When the kiss happened, she gasped, clutching a hand to her mouth. Beside her, Bai Chen, Bai Lu's protective older brother, stood frozen, torn between his pride and his lingering anger toward Zhang Linghe. It was Bai Lu's father who broke the silence. "Look at her," he said quietly. "She's happy." For the first time, something shifted in Bai Lu's mother's expression, not full forgiveness, but the beginnings of understanding. Social media explodes. Within minutes, the internet was ablaze. Hashtags like #BaiLu Zhang Linghe kiss, #love in the spotlight, and #TrueLove wins again trended globally. Clips of the kiss went viral on Weibo, Twitter, and TikTok. Fans edited slow-motion montages set to emotional ballads, while others posted heartfelt messages about believing in love again. One tweet with over 1 million likes read, "They didn't just kiss. They reclaimed their story. Even rival celebrities chimed in, with some praising their bravery for embracing love in front of the world. Behind the scenes, the moments leading up to the kiss. Later, a source close to the couple revealed that Bai Lu had been nervous about appearing publicly with Zhang Linghe. She had feared backlash from her family and fans who might think their reunion was too soon after the drama. But Zhang Linghe had reassured her earlier that evening. "We've hidden enough. Tonight, let's just be us." His quiet confidence had calmed her fears, and when the moment came, their kiss wasn't a publicity stunt, it was a spontaneous declaration that they were done hiding. Fans' emotional connection. The kiss struck a deep chord with fans who had followed their journey. They remembered the hospital reunion, the family clashes, and Zhang Linghe's threat to leave forever. Seeing them now, together, unapologetic, felt like a reward for everyone who had rooted for them. A popular fan blog wrote, "This wasn't just a kiss. This was two people fighting through storms, finding each other again, and finally standing in the sun. For all of us who've ever believed love could heal, this is our proof." After the event, a quiet moment. Following the chaos of the red carpet, Bai Lu and Zhang Linghe slipped backstage, away from the flashing cameras. He still held her hand tightly, as if letting go would break the spell. She turned to him, cheeks flushed. "You didn't warn me," she teased, though her eyes sparkled. He smirked softly. "Would you have let me if I'd asked?" Her laugh was quiet, genuine, a sound that had been missing for too long. She leaned in, resting her forehead against his. "You're impossible," she whispered. "And you love me for it," he replied. The red carpet photos that broke the internet. The next day, every major entertainment outlet featured the kiss on their front pages. Headlines screamed, "Bai Lu and Zhang Linghe prove love is real," and the kiss heard around the world. Photographers captured every angle, the moment their lips met, Bai Lu's tearful smile afterward, Zhang Linghe's protective arm around her shoulders as they walked inside. Fashion critics even praised Bai Lu's gown as the dress of destiny, adding to the fairy-tale-like quality of the night. Aftermath of the kiss. The world can't look away. The echo of the kiss was still alive in the air as Bai Lu and Zhang Linghe stepped inside the grand hall of the Shanghai International Film Festival. Outside, the frenzy continued, reporters breathless, phones buzzing with live updates, fans crying tears of joy as the moment replayed on every screen in the plaza. Inside, the atmosphere was quieter but no less charged. The couple could feel every pair of eyes following them. Conversations hushed as they passed. Fellow actors paused mid-step to watch. Someone clapped, quietly at first, then louder until it became a ripple of applause that rolled across the room. Bai Lu felt her cheeks burn, but Zhang Linghe only smiled, tightening his hold on her hand as if to say, "Let them look. Let them know." A backstage whisper. Before the ceremony began, they slipped into a quiet corner backstage. The glittering lights from the stage cast a soft glow around them, and the sounds of the festival faded into a gentle hum. Bai Lu exhaled, half laughing, half nervous. "Do you realize what you've done?" Zhang Linghe grinned, unrepentant. "Made the night unforgettable. You blindsided me," she said, swatting his chest playfully. But there was no anger in her voice, only awe. He reached up, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "I didn't want to wait anymore. Not after everything we've been through." Hiding started to feel like losing. Her eyes softened. The memory of the hospital, his voice breaking as he begged her to wake up, flashed through her mind. She remembered the arguments with her family, the uncertainty, the nights spent apart. All of it had led to this moment under the lights, where he had claimed her not as a prize, but as a partner. Fans' reactions, an ocean of emotions. On social media, the kiss was already the most replayed clip of the night. Fans flooded timelines with slowed-down footage, sparkling edits, and captions that read like poetry. "Their love isn't scripted. It's a heartbeat caught on camera." Bai Lu's smile after the kiss, like the first sunrise after a storm. One fan account organized a live-streamed watch party, where hundreds of people from different countries shared stories of their own loves rekindled or strengthened because of Bai Lu and Zhang Linghe's courage. Others stitched together old interviews of them laughing together on set, comparing those moments with the tenderness of the kiss. The ceremony, eyes only for each other. When the festival began, the two took their seats among the biggest names in the industry. But the room might as well have been empty. During a musical performance, the lights dimmed, and Bai Lu found herself brushing her fingers against his under the table. He intertwined them effortlessly, giving her hand a gentle squeeze. At one point, the host teased them playfully. "It seems we've already crowned the most talked-about couple tonight." The audience laughed, but Bai Lu blushed. Zhang Linghe leaned closer, whispering with a smirk, "Guess we stole the spotlight." She rolled her eyes but couldn't stop the shy grin spreading across her face. A surprise backstage visitor. As the night went on, Bai Lu received a message from her brother, "Bai Chen, call me when you can. We need to talk." Her stomach flipped. But before she could respond, a stage assistant approached. "Someone's here to see you." In a small backstage lounge, her mother stood waiting. She looked out of place among the glitter and cameras, her expression conflicted but softer than before. Bai Lu froze, unsure whether to approach. Her mother's first words were hesitant but heartfelt. "You looked happy tonight. Happier than I've seen you in a long time." Bai Lu swallowed hard. "I am. With him, I am." For a moment, silence stretched between them. Then her mother sighed, the fight leaving her shoulders. "I don't know if I can forget everything overnight. But I see it now. He loves you. And maybe I was too harsh." Tears prickled at Bai Lu's eyes. She stepped forward and hugged her mother tightly, feeling the weight she'd carried for months begin to lift. The midnight escape. When the festival ended, Zhang Linghe suggested avoiding the after-party. Instead, he led Bai Lu out a side exit, where a rented vintage convertible waited. The city lights blurred into streaks of gold as they drove with the top down, the cool night air whipping through their hair. He glanced at her, the wind ruffling his tuxedo jacket. "Do you regret the kiss?" She looked at him, her eyes sparkling under the city's glow. "Not even a little." "You." "Best decision I ever made," he said, and reached for her hand again. They stopped at the Bund, where the skyline shimmered like a dream. Alone on the quiet promenade, Zhang Linghe pulled her close. The city hummed around them, but in that moment, it felt like they were the only two people in the world. Fans still awake. Meanwhile, fan groups stayed online all night, dissecting every frame of the kiss, every look they'd exchanged at the ceremony, every tiny detail like how Zhang Linghe had adjusted Bai Lu's train as they walked. The hashtag #LoveInTheSpotlight hit over 20 million mentions by dawn. One trending post read, "They didn't just kiss, they told us that even in a world full of noise, love deserves to be loud." The morning after. The next morning, Bai Lu woke to sunlight filtering through her curtains and to the sight of Zhang Linghe asleep on the sofa, still in his tuxedo jacket, having stayed to make sure she got home safely. She took a quiet moment to study him, the peaceful curve of his lips, the faint shadow of stubble on his jaw, the man who had risked public scrutiny just to show the world he wasn't letting her go. She tiptoed closer and whispered, barely loud enough to hear herself, "Thank you for not giving up on us." His eyes fluttered open, and he smiled sleepily. "Never. The world moves, but they stay steady." By midday, their publicists were fielding calls from every major outlet, but the couple stayed off social media, choosing instead to spend the day together, cooking breakfast, laughing over spilled juice, and dancing barefoot in her living room to a song only they could hear. The world was loud outside, but their love was louder. And though the headlines would fade and the hashtags would stop trending, the memory of that red carpet kiss, the one that defied doubt, healed wounds, and set hearts on fire, would remain a part of their story forever.